I'm here with Kaspars Vendelis, who is a biohacking community leader in the Baltics. And he has some very interesting ideas to share around community building and nurturing during these times. So would you give a little intro to your background and why you think that the community angle is so important?
Well, first of all, I started being a biohacker, if you can call me so, 5 or 6 years ago. And as I always joke around that nobody becomes a biohacker because everything is perfect in their lives. So when you start digging into your what's going on wrongly with you, you kind of more or less frequently stumble upon the idea of improving yourself in terms of biohacking. And since I experienced some fall down in my personal life, and I experienced my death of my father at the age of 65, that's when I kind of decided that I'd like to live a little bit longer, and started being interested into longevity and what you have to do to prolong your life. So then biohacking actually popped up quite often. So I started reading, all the usual stuff. So, and then once I started writing and talking about biohacking and personal health, I noticed that nobody here in Latvia, where I'm from, is talking about that. So, but I noticed also that many people individually in like small silos did a lot of stuff about biohacking, about the health improvement. So I thought it's going to be a more powerful message and idea if you kind of connect all those people, because, and I see a little bit that biohacking is a set of tools. It's not like ideology. It's more like a complex of different tools that you can use for any purpose and any goal that you have individually. And people feel more free, and they experience freedom if they have those tools available. It's like a pin, when you have a button, when you lose a button and you are at the party, sometimes this small pin, it can save your life in terms of party. So, and the biohacking tools is the same thing. If you have some issues with your health, your personal life, you open your drawer of your toolkit and you can use whatever you want. So, and this is basically how I started to implement biohacking in my life. And if I connected this idea of building community to bring out of the shadows people that already use a lot of different tools, I said, maybe we can contribute to the overall well-being of people, and we can just share those tools. That's one aspect of building community. And the other aspect of building community is that sometimes actually too often people are focused on individual well-being. So what you all have to do to make your sleep better, make your digestion better, and all those things. And this is only on the individual level. Mm-hmm. But if we forget about the hormonal system, which is really, really strongly influenced by our social aspects, by the social communication to other people, we know, for example, that hugging or touching other people's skin increases our happy chemicals, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So that's when I noticed that it's actually very important not to neglect this aspect of social interactions, and especially right now when we often hear social distancing. That's the worst word that you can use for meaning actually physical distancing. It's actually the opposite. We need more and even stronger social bonding than before, because right now we are talking through Zoom, and I see your face, but I don't see your hands, your legs, your whole body, and even your face. I actually can miss a lot of small micro expressions of your face, which actually is making me less capable of perceiving what you actually think or feel or so. So that's why we need to find even more communication forms, and the idea. You get the idea. So
Okay.
it's basically the thing.
Okay. So, and I'm completely aligned with what you're saying, and you're right. What you wanted to speak about with us is, you're assuming that the immunity stuff is being handled by other people, etc. You wanted to really focus on the community point of view. The community point of view, I mean, it's like well documented that people who live longer have very strong social connections. The blue zones, the family connection, that kind of thing. So what we need to do in this kind of talk is really pull out of you what are the key ideas that people can use to make sure that they are building nurturing communities. What are your approaches there?
Okay. Actually, and that quite strongly relates also to the new ways of work as well. Since we all, or most of the people are now having offices at home, we have children, we have home stuff going on, and there is also bosses and other aspects of our life, which is now all brought into our homes, and people are lost because, for instance, I've been working from my home for last 5-6 years, but for those who are used to work in the offices, it's really not that easy. And it's not just join Zoom and all is settled. It's actually quite something more, and it ties back to the leadership aspect. It ties back to how people can feel that they guide their lives by themselves, and I'd like to mention like 3 concepts from Daniel Pink. It's how to not to lose yourself in this new situation, and that goes back to how to create leadership in your family, because if you are a leader of the family, or at least you might become a leader of the family, everybody's like children are looking on your attitude towards what's going on. And if you express a little bit of fear and uncertainty, they're gonna take it with them, and they're gonna feel even more fearful than you are, and it's gonna go back to like the circles. So basically, the idea from where this Daniel Pink 3 concepts go in is that for people it's very important to create their own autonomy. It's not just that you are distant worker in terms of office. It's not autonomy. I hear a lot of bosses and CEOs and managers are now thinking how to bring over the control what you have over the employees in the office, how to bring over this control into the distant offices called homes. And it's even more devastating. You kind of thought you maybe are more autonomous, but actually you're even stronger controlled. You have to be at your screen the whole time. So basically it's how to get autonomy. The second one is how to get to the level of mastery, which means the constant progress. This is how you can actually improve your life while being here in this situation. And the third concept would be meaning, purpose, and contributing to the common goals. All these 3 things are really badly supported by the workplace, by the companies, organizations where they work. So right now, I'm actually having a lot of projects going on, which are focusing on those three concepts, how to get people to experience and get more autonomy, how to master themselves. And autonomy and mastery go hand in hand, because right now when you are at home and you sit in the shitty furniture, like shitty chairs at the wrong desks with bad computers and everything is bad, now it's time. I have a lot of people around saying me, at least in the office we have comfortable chairs, and now at home it's really hurting my back. I'm really damaging my health. So now autonomy and mastery is how to interweave work, physical movement, and not to lose touch with your friends, with your colleagues, with your family members and things like that. So I'm actually working now on many projects that are supporting this concept of three: mastery, autonomy, and contributing to the common purpose. So it's
Okay. So your advice for people is to start thinking about these three concepts, contemplating these three concepts, how they apply to their current situations, and looking at the current situation through those different lenses. Okay. What else do you have in mind for helping them to create, foster communities, etc.?
Okay. First of all, to get into this into the concept of those three things, to make them better, I actually have a practical guideline how to do this thing, and I call it energy distribution model. I call it PAPAS. It's like how you distribute your energy throughout the day. Like assuming we have 100% of the energy when you wake up in the morning, and throughout the day you have 5 aspects of how you spend your energy. One is physical aspect. It's like everything that you do on the physical basis, like muscles, skeleton, brain, and everything like that. Then it's autonomous processes. It's everything that you cannot influence directly, but it's in your inner organs, like heart, lungs, everything that you cannot directly influence, but you actually spend your energy on those things as well. Then it's professional processes. We have to work. We have to, do all the professional stuff. Then it's automation processes. This is like habits, routines, rituals, rules. And the less habits we have, the more energy we spend on thinking about, conscious things. So it's also that. And the 5th one is creativity, self-improvement, spirituality. So, and I have a real step-by-step that you can do to implement all those 5 aspects into the concept of getting to autonomy, to mastery, and a purposeful, meaningful life.
And what structure is that? Is that, say, a program that you offer, a book, or what?
Right now, I have an online course that's doing this. But the other one you asked me before, the question how I build the communities around how to get people together, and I have this. It's free. It's like an online course, but I have those challenges. I have this. Realize your project. It's just in Latvian and here in local language, but it's hashtag realize your project. Since we all have a little bit more time on our hands, what gives you a little bit more of the control is that you start working on the ideas, on concepts, on projects that have been maybe lying in your drawers for years. You always wanted to learn Spanish. You always wanted to learn to play guitar. You always wanted to create your own online course, or improving your systematically improve your health. So this is the project that you should start in 21 days. I guide them day by day with videos and some additional materials, and that's one of the things. I just thought of this idea like 2 days before I launched it. I just put it in Facebook, and people like, wow, that's cool, I'm gonna do that. And
in Latvian language.
In Latvian language, in 2 days, it was like more than 100 people just applied and started doing this thing with me. And
right.
and that's really inspiring to see that people are really enjoying even more freedom than, and more this creation of mastery than ever before. You know, that's really fun to watch.
So what I'm hearing from that is that's a good example of someone maybe using this time to pull the archived projects, the shelved projects out of the archives and start executing on things.
That would be one level one, but the next level would be, that's like the meta level, would be that especially those that kind of feel that they should start working on something, be that health or anything besides that. And that now, when we hear a word leader, we always kind of mean somebody that is taking control in their hands and everybody's just like following. It's not like that. Actually, what leader means in my understanding is that that is a person that, because we don't know, anybody doesn't know anything about what's going on in the future, so it's that's uncertain for anybody. But what makes leader a leader is a kind of clarity of where you want to go, regardless of what's the obstacle in your way. That's the leader. So, and by doing projects like that, means you set the goals, you think about the meaning that is going to create. That gives you a clarity. And when you are clear on where are you going, people tend to listen to you. So anybody, and on this meta level, you can become a leader because it's you. I mean, not specifically you, but like you, the listener, is there is a potential for you to become a leader if you get the clarity. And you get the clarity by working on the things that you can influence, set the goals, and just follow that.
Okay, so now we're talking about a couple of things. We're talking about community, we're talking about projects. Let's link both of those. So let's say that your project is to build a community during this time to be, like less socially distant. I mean, like reduce the distancing. Right now we're physically isolated, but we're not socially isolated. So what would be your, tips, tricks, techniques for helping people with that? Let's say the project is to start creating a community around them and becoming a leader or something like that.
Okay. So right now, I see that if you continue the business as usual, first of all, it's not gonna be like business usual, because we're totally in different situation than ever before, and all the processes that are implemented right now tend to reflect the things that were possible before and not right now. So we need to rethink the things. But many people don't have the leaders that know what to do. That's why they're lost, and because the managers are lost themselves. So right now, it's important to find time, really find time, be that 1 minute or 1 hour or maybe the whole day. You find that 1 hour, you add that hour or that minute to the existing habit that you already have. Like for instance, you finish your toothbrushing, you do this one thing. That is your project, whatever that is. And people tend to think, oh, I'm not sure where to start, which project to pursue. Just start with one. You might be more clear after some while. You will decide to change the plans. Is allowed. it's actually the only thing is allowed is to change something if it doesn't work. So first of all, you attach your desired habit to the habit that you already have. This is when you start working on that. Don't eat that elephant at one piece. Do that in small chunks. Be that just that's why I emphasize just 1 minute is enough to feel that some things have been moving more than 2 years earlier. St- suddenly you find yourself in a situation where something is more progressing than before. So that's, and by that small change, you get this feeling of, wow, I'm working on something. I control my time. Nobody's telling me what to do. I have. It's also very dangerous in terms of because you don't know what to do. By definition, it's a new thing, but by doing that in small chunks, you kind of feel that the thing is moving. Now, very important, two things to keep on doing those things. You have to always ask yourself, why are you doing this? It has to answer this bigger question: what's the meaning of it all? Where is this? When you finish this project, when you finish your guitar playing or your language, how is this bringing you towards and closer to your bigger goals? That's one thing. Because if you have when the motivation is gone, usually first 2-3 days people have a huge motivation, they kind of feel this momentum going, and after that starts the usual life. Now this usual life is being supported by this bigger goal. That's one thing, how to stick on that. And the other one is community. You find your pal, you find your accountability partner. That's why it's very important to build those, be that Facebook group or regular Zoom calls or WhatsApp groups or anything like that. But it's important to find like-minded people that can cheer you up as well. And if you decided to go for a run, you promise your partner that you are doing this. And if you don't want to do that, you at least know that you promised to your friends, so you do that together. So these are two very, very important things. And I think they are so trivially mentioned so often, but they are true and they work. And I see that by doing my projects, by doing projects before. So basically, I'm not sure if those are the small tips, but really thinking about that is already important.
Okay, so we're on the tail end now. I'm just going to kind of summarize what you said just now. So the first thing, the main thing I got was the exercise of starting with why, zooming out, going to the big picture. What are you trying to accomplish? Okay, then putting any action into it, even if it's a small action. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. That kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And then finding an accountability buddy to hold you accountable. And I'm extracting also that maybe let's say that you decided to become a community leader or a creator or something. Maybe you can make your accountability buddy hold you accountable to that goal of creating the community and doing scheduling the first Zoom call or making the WhatsApp group, whatever it might be. That depends on you. And I think that would be a nice way for someone to take the first step or take some action into becoming a leader, community, organizing a community, reducing social distancing, physical distancing are reduced. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is, and what's interesting about that is, it's like decorating the Christmas tree. When you bring Christmas tree home, first you put that tree so it's stable, so it's not falling, around, and then before you start putting the small decorations, you put the bigger things. So, and I think also to be a biohacker and thinking about the well-being, being happy, being healthy, being the feeling that everything is fine with you, strong, clear, everything is good. this is how it's going on, you know. And all I'm saying here, my suggestion in talking about the health and immunity against coronavirus on any other virus is, this is just the approach from that other side. You can read manuals, you can watch videos and read and watch some online courses on how to improve your immunity, which works, but that comes from the other direction. Now I'm suggesting is, you get the clarity first, you get this goal setting thing idea, and you put your Christmas tree, and you put bigger things before, and after that you kind of feel more joyful because you have people around you supporting you. Now that's the time when you start thinking more about what exercise exactly to do, you know, you to what supplements, what foods, what you know, like that. So it doesn't matter where you start. That's just the one perspective where you can start. And I think it's a little bit complex way of starting working on your health, on your overall well-being. But for some people, maybe it's exactly the right thing to start with, because they're maybe naturally more towards the leader, towards organizing things like that, you know. But it's probably not for everyone, you know.
Okay, so to zoom out, to leave the parting words for our audience, what is the main most valuable idea that you would like to leave them with in terms of this whole conversation that we've had?
It's to concentrate and focus on things that is in your area of control. People tend to live in yesterdays and tomorrows. Mm-hmm. We need to start living today, and today is the day. The only day that we have is today. Tomorrow is going to be the next day, like today, you know. So please, and whatever you are unhappy about right now, it's because you did, or something happened to you before yesterday, and so on. So what you put in yourself today, that's going to be tomorrow. So today is the day. So that's the one thing that I would suggest them focus on. And usually it's the things that is in your reach. That's one thing that you can influence directly, and not what somebody tells you in the news.
Nice. Okay, well, thank you for your contribution. We will be leaving notes for people to reach you, to follow you, etc., your materials, maybe that course if we have some Latvian listeners. And thank you for your support with everything.
Yeah, I'm happy to contribute, and I talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you.